Welcome to the next live session here with the PROBAT Group. My name is Roy Smith. I'm Manager Technology at Royal Davis Wiener, a new member of the PROBAT Group. And next to me is Mr. Frank Cornet. He is the Sales Director and helping us with the introduction of Davis within the PROBAT Group. Frank, welcome. Can you introduce the Davis Group to PROBAT?
Thank you, Roy. Yes, since the, what is it now? March 5, 11:30 night, we are part of the PROBAT Group, which is a new adventure in the history of Davis Wiener.
For sure.
This is now week 7 or week 8 since D-Day, as we call it, and we feel, we are back on track. We had last week, we had in Emmerich, we had the GLM, we call it the Global Leadership Meeting for the leaders of PROBAT, and there it was really the kickoff of the new group.
Okay.
And we established, we are part of a big group, PROBAT, and PROBAT is now divided in coffee.
Yeah.
7 out of 10 cups coffee is PROBAT.
Yeah.
So what do we do now? Now we have the food division, where we have cocoa, chocolate, nuts, and secret. We will reveal that later. And this is going to be as much as important as the coffee group. So a lot to tell.
Exciting times. So tell to some of the viewers who might not know Davis Wiener, what is Davis Wiener for kind of company? What are we doing?
Yeah, exactly. Davis was established in 1885.
Yeah, a long time ago. Like PROBAT, eh?
We started as what you see behind me is the heart of the industrial area in Holland at 1885. So we were a company that did services on the businesses that started in this area. Yeah. It was based on windmills, but then the first machines came in. Mr. Davis said, I do the maintenance. Well, in time that evolved, and in the 80s of the last century, they did maintenance on the presses in this area. We are in the heart of the cocoa area. 40% of the cocoa passes through this area. Yeah. We are in the center of this. So a lot of machines to maintain that do cocoa processing.
And nowadays we're building. Since 1980, I think we developed the cocoa press for building the cocoa press. And from that moment on, we more and more put a focus on cocoa and chocolate processing. Exactly. And now on a new chapter in the history, part of the PROBAT Group. Yeah,
we are. We were. I think everybody knows that we were struggling, more or less.
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
Davis history. Yeah. But nevertheless, all the customers they remained loyal and connected to us. So everybody's happy that we are back on track.
Which shows that the equipment we're building is really it's the best equipment we have.
Exactly.
So which you can find in the market. So.
Exactly.
Okay.
The best equipment. Okay, we say it's the best equipment, and it's true because the presses the first presses we developed in the 80s, in the last century, they are still in production.
Yeah.
You can say it's good.
No. I think it's good, but it's good that you showed us a little bit of where we are now, and well, I'm still curious for the secret. What will happen? So what will happen with the secret? But that will reveal itself within
coming years.
Coming years.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you have PROBAT coffee and you have PROBAT food. So because why do we call it food? Because we are in the cocoa, we are in the chocolate, we are also in the nuts business. But next to nuts, we also have
seeds,
sunflower seeds. What is this?
Bacon.
But that is protein business. So if you say confectionery, it doesn't cover everything we can do and everything we want to do. So there's a lot of there's a whole new world to explore next to cocoa, chocolate. First. Become the biggest and strongest in cocoa and chocolate, in the nut business. But we are eager to grow, to make new steps, and to show what we are capable of.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you for being here with us. We are here in what we would call the technology center. This is the classroom area, and now I want to show you a video of the pilot plant we have downstairs. Welcome here in Koog aan de Zaan, close to Amsterdam, where we have real Dutch weather. So I'm here to show you the pilot plant we have. Come on in and let's see. Welcome in my world, a little bit of the history, and then we go into the pilot plant. So this is where the magic happens. This is where we have all the machines on a small scale where customers can test whether it's for cocoa processing, chocolate processing, and even nut processing. We can do a little bit here as well. So yeah, this is an area where we have equipment for recipe development. So here we can weigh ingredients, we can try it on a small ball mill where we only have 2.5 kilos of product in there. The big advantage is that nowadays with the new ingredients we see for vegan chocolate, etc., you might want to test this first before you want to put it in an industrial machine. What does it do in your recipe? How fine can it go? Is it temperature sensitive? Those kind of questions will be answered on this end. Small scale, just to know if it works. And then we come into the main hall, and this is where we have everything for about 50 kilo batches or 50 kilo per hour, some a bit more, some a bit less. On the left hand side, it's more or less the cocoa side. On the right hand side, it's more or less the chocolate side. I mean by more or less that you can see that a lot of the machines are on wheels. So whatever the customer request is, we can move the machines around and set up the configuration as the customer is wanted to test. So if you go to the cocoa side, we have the vertical roasters here, we have a drum roaster, we have a breaker and winnower on your left side, we have, going forward here, we have the pre-grinder, we have, well, this is one ball mill, we have another one, so we can set up a whole grinding line. So after those steps, typically you will have cocoa liquor. When you have cocoa liquor, we can either press it on the small press, or we can use it in the chocolate system, which is on the other side. Then the press cake coming out, we can do, and that's behind the wall here. This is where we can make cocoa powder. So we take the press cakes, we pulverize it to cocoa powder, where we have a line which is exactly like the industrial line, like everything else here. So then we go from the cocoa side to the chocolate side, and then from the chocolate side we have mixers, whether it's a liquid mixer or a more paste mixer, where we have a 1 shaft conch, a 3 shaft conch. We can do grinding on a ball mill or 2 ball mills, or here in the front we even have a 2 and 5 roll refiner combined. So if you want to test on chocolate equipment, also this is possible in every way you can think of. And you know, and all of this is, we are in the business of flavor. We want to take the flavor from the cocoa bean, work it in the best way on that side, where we have the full flavor developed by the cocoa roasting, and then combine it with sugar, milk powder, or whatever to make chocolate in a final step for the conch. So all of this is possible here. We also have a system here which we now call Log 5, but perhaps Frank will rename it into another system name. This is our pasteurizer. So this is developed for the pasteurizing nuts and seeds. And while customers came here for testing on this equipment, they also found out that we have roasters, and guess what? Also the nuts are roasted at some point in the process, and also nuts are being ground to a nut paste, and also the nut paste can be pressed on a cocoa press to get the nut flour and the oil. So with our cocoa machines, we're also stepping a little bit already in the nut processing business, and yeah, looking really forward to work with also the new part of the PROBAT Group, AC Horn, to see what they have there and where we can combine forces there. So well, on the other side we have an all-in-one machine to make chocolate, where we can do mixing, refining and conching. This is an alternative way for conching. It's a machine like the one we have over here, where we can have a conching effect in a continuous way. So all of this here is to combine with customers, to link with customers, to team up with customers, to work with them together and get the best answer for them. As said, this is the pilot plant. When we go up to the classroom, and this is where well, first of all, we have a really nice view of our 2,000 square meter pilot plant. And on top here, we can enter the classroom session where we can do all the theoretical part. So for trainings, for anything which you want to do, is done up here. So thank you for now, and we'll see you back up. Welcome back. Now you've seen the pilot plant we have down here, and this is really an added value to the group for us, I think, and especially, and Frank will elaborate a little bit later on that, when we want to have more of those test facilities within the PROBAT Group around the world. The added value is where customers can come to us and looking for a different configuration, a different machine setup, to try recipes, what the impact is of the fineness on viscosity, etc. And we can do a lot ourselves. We can make samples, send it over to customers. When they have a reply, we make new samples, and you can imagine this takes time. And if you come here in this area where we can have the theoretical part, where we can go down to the pilot plant to do all the practical part, and whatever comes out of the pilot plant, we have immediate feedback. So customers, they tell us the flavor is off, the finer should finer or more coarse, or whatever the case is. And from that moment on, we can set up a next test. So after a week here with us in a pilot plant in the test center, customers go home with a straightforward answer. And they know what they can expect from our machines, should they buy it. So that's a bit on the technology center. I already said a little bit on where we want to expand test centers. We want to have test centers close to where the customers are in the world, and based on all the processes, the equipment we can provide. Because in the end, if you want to make a good product, you need, of course, the right ingredients, you need the right people, and you need the right equipment. And if you have those three together, then you have a perfect combination. Frank, can you elaborate a little bit on the plans for PROBAT Food going forward with, for my interesting, the technology centers or the test centers?
Yes, we have, if you look, we have now the cocoa, chocolate, we have the nut, and we have the Zerkleinerung technique. But what we think is important, that wherever you go, or whichever entity you are in contact with, that you can learn or test everything that we have in our portfolio.
No.
So if you come here in Koganazan, or you go to Dresden, or you go to Scotland, McIntyre, or you go to HGM Inc. in the United States, the techniques or the portfolio we have available is testable. Yeah. Of course, you cannot do a roaster everywhere, a bean roaster or a coffee roaster, but at least that the basic is there, and that you, when you enter a PROBAT entity, PROBAT Food entity, that you can learn about all the portfolio we have. And it's important that you could do trials, and that the people that you talk to represent the whole group.
Yeah. So
one company.
Yeah. Well, that's what I like. So to have technology test centers around the world where we have the people with experience on the whole group, and where you have specific experience. So when you have a roaster somewhere in Dresden, you can do roasting trials there. If you want to have a specific topic on a roaster here, you can come here, whatever the case is. And
exactly.
Always backed up with technologists. Science, technology is the backbone of
because the luxury position we have now is that we have several solutions for a production question of the customer.
Yeah.
So if they want to use a horizontal roaster, a continuous roaster, a vertical continuous roaster, a drum roaster, or a flatbed roaster, we have so many possibilities. Of course, I'm sales, so I exaggerate a little bit, but we have different solutions for customer questions. And you know, the thing is that the customer can drive us to the solution they feel it fits best to the questions.
Exactly, and then I fully understand this, and because you've seen the pilot plant, this is where everything is possible on our end, but be aware what we have in Dresden, in McIntyre. So there's so much more that we can serve our customers, and that I feel that that's really a step forward in the right direction.
No, and that's also the vision we have in the PROBAT Group, that you know the customer is leading. So the customers if the customer solutions are leading, so we are there to help the customer and give them the solution that fits to whatever they need to make the best product.
Exactly, whether it's on the quality, where the focus is on the quality of the product, whether it's a pricing, whatever the case is, we should serve customers. No, I fully agree. So I'm happy that you came here to explain a little bit on this.
It's a pleasure, and now I look forward to the next session, because I think we have to do this much more often.
For sure we will. I agree. This is the first introduction session. For sure we will come back with things behind the scene or on specific topics, for whether it's for pressing, roasting, or grinding, or chocolate making, whatever the case is, we will come back.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.